What's up, y'all? Welcome to iOS 3 Raw TV. Well, today we're going to do something that I think is long overdue. You guys hear Brady down there, tick, tick, tick. So injury prevention is important, and as I get older, of course, I don't want to have more injuries. I never had an injury until I started professional wrestling. So I was competitive in bodybuilding for years, and when I started professional wrestling, getting slammed on your back over and over again, hip tossed on my hip doesn't rotate properly due to like the arm drags I was taking. I would land a certain way, backdrops I would land a certain way, and my hip started not rotating properly, and I had problems with my neck from being slammed and stuff. So that whole chain from your neck, the kinetic chain, all the way down to your feet, when something is not aligned in your neck, you'll feel it like in your hip. If something's not aligned in your hip, you'll feel it in your neck. So the whole thing is connected, and we know this, right? So my hip that doesn't rotate properly, I go to the chiropractor and get adjusted when it gets to the point where I need it to be adjusted. But I've been going regularly for quite a while now. And at this point, there's things that you can do at home that help you heal. So I'm like, okay, with these Theraguns, these massage guns, whatever they're called, I'm seeing them all over the place. And some of them are like $800, $900, $1,000. And I'm like, what? The Jigsaw was another one. I'm like, what the fuck? Some people actually go to the hardware store and actually buy a Jigsaw. I'm thinking, I'm like, what the hell are these things all about? So I kind of looked around and found one called the Everyfun gun. And I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. We'll give that one a shot. But cost-wise, I was like, let me see how it stacks up to the other ones. Now, we have some of the other ones at my gym at Export Fitness, and a couple of the trainers at my other gym in Rockville actually have them too. So I've been able to use those and know kind of what they feel like so I can compare it to the one that I got off Amazon. Now, I'm going to put the link in the description box if you guys are looking for one of these right now. It is the most cost-effective one that I've found as far as quality and cost together. But I'm going to show you guys how I use it right now, so let's just get through it. Alright, so this is the Everyfun gun. Now, as you can see, I have actually this little ball on the end of it, so there's a couple different attachments. Let me kind of go over those right now. They do different things. So first of all, you get this cool little carrying case with it. It's got a little handle and stuff on it. Some of these things actually don't come with that. So you gotta like throw it in your gym bag, and you have like the gun and like the random attachments and stuff in there. I thought that's actually kind of cool that you get the case, it keeps it all solid, you just throw it in your gym bag. You can actually just carry it to the gym like that if you wanted, like whatever the case may be. So you saw the ball, which I use for general targeted but not necessarily trigger point. So I'm going to show you how I use this one specifically on my adductor, which is the problem that I've been having quite a while now. This one is like a pinpoint that's more of a pressure release as far as a trigger point release. And this one, it's good for getting into like places in your forearms, like small little places. Great for tendonitis and stuff like that. This one here, this attachment, this one is like a general attachment. You see it's kind of flat. It's got these little kind of knobby things on. I'm not sure why the knobby things are on there. Maybe it's so you can use it over clothes or whatever. But bottom line is this thing is like if you're flat on your stomach and you're just going over broad areas, this one is good for that. If you're going to use this for a specific targeted thing, it's actually going to make the muscle really sore. And you can be walking around, if you use it like in your quad or something, you'll be walking around for like 3 or 4 days with some pain. It's not like a good pain. So you got to have to know how these applications work. And this one here, I still haven't figured out how this one works. And I've looked it up online several places, and people are like, I don't know, fuck it. They don't know how it works either. So I'm like, well, fuck it. You know, it is what it is. So that's the case. That's the attachments. And the Everyfun gun it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 speeds, 5 speeds. 2, 4, 5 speeds on it. And it charges by just plugging in the bottom. Now the battery life on this thing is pretty good. You can use this thing for probably about maybe 10 hours before the battery needs to be charged. You're not going to be able to do 10 hours in a day, obviously. So you could charge this thing maybe once a week if you wanted to, and it'd be good to go. Now, the ball here, it's a kind of a hard, it's not like tennis ball, but it's more like a foam. So it does absorb a little bit of the pressure. Now, the adductor problem that I've been having, so my hip doesn't rotate properly. And as a result, when I've been walking, I'm shifting and I'm starting to actually supinate my foot. And as I supinate my foot, I'm walking on the edge of my foot, and I didn't realize this. Because you just kind of compensate over time. So as I'm walking on the side of my foot, it's actually turning my adductor kind of pulling out. So what happens is I'll get this sharp shooting pain where my adductor meets my hip. And that's literally that tendon stretching to the point where it doesn't want to stretch anymore, and it stretches fast, and it's just so sharp it'll take the breath away from you. So now what happens is I've been doing corrective exercises with my chiropractor to get my foot to not pronate anymore. But at the same time, you need to release that adductor because it's tight, or it's going to keep pulling to that direction. So I was like, well, I can't do massage therapy myself. Like, my fingers don't work. Like, I can't put myself in enough pain to get that done. It's weird because I'm not a massage therapist. So they recommended one of these guns, and I was like, of course they recommended. Well, I'm like, first of all, they don't sell them, which I was like, okay, it's cool. They're not trying to sell me something I don't need for like $1,000. So I kind of did some research and I found the Everyfun gun, and this one works really well. Now, you don't have to use it for injuries. You can actually use it to warm up, which I wish I had this when I tore my pec. I actually used another one called a Pure Wave, which is a handheld wand on my pec when I tore it, which actually helped to heal a lot faster. Like, massage therapy is very important if you're looking to increase blood flow and increase recovery. It's a huge tool in the toolbox of staying healthy, whether you're competing, etc., even muscle growth. If you can't train, you can't grow. If you're injured and you can't recover, you can't grow. So this helps your recovery and helps you grow. Now, bottom line is, when you're going to use one of these things, you're going to have to kind of know what you're doing a little bit. So you can watch videos online and stuff like that. They'll explain how to use something like this. But I use it in that adductor, release the adductor. Now, you can also use it like leg day before you go to do legs. You can use it in your quads. You can use it in your forearms if you have tendonitis in general. You can switch the attachment to get deeper for the tendonitis. I do use it on my pec to warm up the pec area, where I'll just show you guys real quick how so you turn it on the bottom, right? That kind of threw me off because I was pushing the power button over here. Yeah, that's how it works. You push it on the bottom. So once you turn it on, the lights will light up in the back. Push the button for the first one, and that's like the lowest amount of resistance that you're going to get. And this one, I usually go with the second one. I don't even need to do the first one today. You literally will push in, and they go up in the direction towards the attachment. And this thing can really, really, really get in there. And I like the way that the handle is set up. So the way that this gun is set up, the handle, you can actually use two hands if you want to put more pressure. You can hold it like this and push this way. There's a couple different applications. You can hold it this way and push. And there's a couple different ways you can do it, whatever's more comfortable for you. But I'll show you guys how I use it on my adductor right now. Okay, so what I do is I'll take the massage gun again, the Everyfun gun, turn it on. I'll push 2 clicks to get that amount of resistance on there. And I'll take it right up here where the hip starts, where the adductor starts in the hip. You can feel how tight it is. Push right in there, push down, and then run right down that adductor. Slowly run right down. And you'll know how much pressure to push. If you push too much, it hurts. I mean, it hurts bad. I mean, of course you want some pain, but you also don't want it to be like where you're injuring yourself. So right down that line like that. Nice and slow. Right in the adductor. Oh, it's sore. Alright, if you were going to use it for something like your quads, you can literally just run it right down the outside of your quad. That actually feels really good. I did legs yesterday. I'm pretty sore, so you hit that soreness. You hit a spot that's really sore. Let's concentrate in that one spot and really work that muscle to release it. Alright, so overall, if I had to kind of rate this gun on a 1 to 5, 5 being 5 stars, I would give it a 5. Cost effectiveness, the way that it's made, and it's very sturdily made. It's not a cheap piece of junk. The attachments are easy to take on and off. You just pull them on, stick them on and off like that. Pretty easy. The thing breathes up top. Overall, I mean, you're not going to see quality-wise a difference between this gun and the ones that cost $1,000. It's the same thing. I've used both of them. Overall, I'd say that, you know, this is something that if you could afford something like this or you're looking for something like this, I would suggest getting one of these ASAP, because this is something that it literally takes away the need for going to the massage therapist all the time. Now, when I was competing, I would literally go to get massage therapy done roughly 2 times a week. And during some of my best showings, I actually had massage therapists that were friends of mine that I would literally, after the workout, they would actually work on me right there in the gym after that workout for that muscle group. Like literally, if I did back, I would literally get done with my back workout, go immediately into massage therapy, do deep tissue to get the muscle to, it's crazy because there's already blood in it, get the blood in the muscle with the massage therapy on top of what's already going on. And you'll notice that the muscle itself would start to release after the workout, which facilitated recovery even faster. So massage therapy is something I've used for quite a while, but this is something that takes it to another level at home that you can do yourself and not have to wind up hiring a massage therapist. So again, if you guys are interested, the link down below. If you guys have tried some of these guns and stuff, chime in down below. Let me know what you guys think and the different applications you've used them for, whether it's healing from an injury, warm-ups, recovery, whatever you're using them for. I mean, they really are just something that I feel is a really good tool that we didn't have years ago that we do now. So let me know what you guys think. BioStraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below. But don't fight. BioStraining.com is a blog. It's the Everyfun Gun Bicep, and we are out.